The streets of Kingston were alive with sound systems, restless youth, and the heartbeat of reggae culture. In crowded studios filled with smoke and heavy bass lines, Sizzla sharpened his craft with relentless intensity. Producers quickly realized there was something different about him. He did not merely sing melodies, he delivered warnings, prayers, and declarations. Night after night, his voice traveled through speakers across Jamaica, reaching taxi drivers, market vendors, students, and struggling families searching for hope in difficult times. The people heard truth in his music. They heard anger, love, discipline, and spiritual fire woven together in every verse. Yet the rise of Kalonji was never smooth. Critics questioned his militant tone, while others feared the influence he held over the youth. Interviews became confrontations. Concerts attracted both admiration and tension. But controversy only strengthened his determination. To Sizzla, music was warfare without weapons, a battlefield of words and consciousness. Inside small recording rooms, he worked endlessly, recording track after track with almost supernatural energy. Some said he could complete multiple songs in a single night, driven by inspiration that never seemed to rest. His music spread far beyond Jamaica, reaching Africa, Europe, and the streets of cities he had never seen. As his fame grew, so did the legend surrounding him. Supporters called him the voice of the suffering. Others called him dangerous. But whether praised or condemned, one thing became impossible to deny. The fire of Kalonji was spreading across the world. Crowds began gathering hours before his performances, waving red, gold, and green banners beneath the hot Caribbean skies. When Sizzla stepped onto the stage, the atmosphere transformed instantly. His presence carried the force of a preacher and the fury of a revolutionary. The music thundered through the speakers, while thousands chanted every lyric back to him like scripture. But behind the power and acclaim stood a man carrying the weight of expectation. Fame had opened doors across the world, yet it also placed Kalonji under constant scrutiny. Every statement became headline material. Every controversy threatened to overshadow the music itself. Some governments questioned his performances. Activist groups protested certain lyrics. Promoters canceled shows under public pressure. Still, Sizzla refused to retreat. To him, compromise meant surrendering the principles he believed gave his music purpose. He continued recording at a relentless pace, releasing songs that spoke of African identity, spiritual discipline, injustice, and survival. His supporters admired his refusal to bend under pressure, seeing him as an artist who stood firm while the world demanded silence. Away from the spotlight, however, the battles grew more personal. There were nights of exhaustion, betrayal, and isolation. Moments when the burden of carrying a movement felt heavier than the applause of the crowd. Friends came and went. Trust became difficult. Yet through every challenge, music remained his refuge. Inside the studio, surrounded by microphones and dim lights, Kalonji returned again and again to the source of his strength. The voice. A voice born from struggle. A voice sharpened by fire. A rebel voice the world could neither control nor ignore. As the years passed, the legend of Sizzla grew beyond music itself. Younger artists studied his delivery, his discipline, and the fearless conviction behind his lyrics. Across reggae and dancehall, his influence could be heard in chants of resistance, spiritual awareness, and cultural pride. Yet Kalonji never seemed comfortable being called a legend. He moved through life with the intensity of someone still fighting unseen battles. While the world celebrated his success, he remained focused on protecting the roots of the culture that shaped him. In communities forgotten by politicians and neglected by opportunity, his music continued to serve as both escape and encouragement. Then came tragedy. A devastating motorcycle accident nearly ended everything. News spread rapidly through Jamaica and across the reggae world. Fans feared the fire had finally burned out. For weeks, rumors filled the streets and radio stations. Some prayed, others waited silently for answers. But survival only deepened the myth surrounding him. When he returned, scarred but standing, supporters saw more than recovery. They saw resilience. To them, Kalonji had walked through flames and returned with his spirit intact. The voice sounded rougher now, carrying the weight of pain and survival, but perhaps even more powerful because of it. He continued performing, recording, and speaking to audiences who viewed him not simply as an artist, but as a symbol of endurance. And somewhere in the distance, beyond the flashing lights and roaring crowds, the young boy from the hills of St. Mary Parish still remained, listening to the drums, carrying the message, and feeding the eternal fire that had made the world remember the name Kalonji.
Some fest launch. Big up dancehall, big up all of the artists, big up the fans that are forward out, represent for the culture, for the movement, for the history, for the blood, the sweat, the tears, and for the success. What we call reggae and what we call dancehall. In other words, culture, one Jamaica.
The fans them took it literal and personally. You understand me? You hear some people are arguing over two artists and people got hurt. Personally, I had the opportunity to produce the war songs that contributed to all of that. And I was not trying to lead society astray. I was just doing my job as a producer, right? Telling a story. And I'm telling you, I had so much fun doing it. I remember, Vybz Kartel is always voice for me, not Mavado. The very first time Mavado voice for me was a part of the war thing. But I must tell you, I sent the rhythm to him, and within an hour, he sent me back a song. What song he sent me? Yes. Sponsors, Kartel is a second. Hold on. Want to know that one there?
Come on.
1, 2 no. We're not drinking or something. Want to know that one? And then, after I sent Vybz Kartel this song, this rhythm, and he voiced this song, I sent my father the rhythm. I didn't tell them what to do, you know. But come here, them hear war in the atmosphere upon the rhythm, because Elephant Man got sweep and everybody, and do nice and them and them go shoot up and bad things. How is my father sing for it? Okay. And go.
Okay.
Sponsors here, pull it down. No, I'm going to talk to the ears again because I swear. After me hear my father song, I said, no way, I said, DJ, my father voice and said, I lie. And in minutes, I got this song from Kartel. You know, small God, that's it, I'm a father. Stop. This is a corporate. Because people take them career seriously, if a man feel like you're set up in career, it's not the deal with it, you know what I'm saying? However, the song did get out to the world, go look at that, right? This is just to show the climate that we were in. Not to mention the song them from Stephen the Genius, Dan Carlin, and everybody. A few producers get a bit of that war atmosphere, and I must tell you, I am proud to stand up in any party and hear those songs play and people dancing off their feet. It was 2009, these two individuals performed alongside each other at West Kingston Jamboree.
Kartel kind of bring back dancehall, you know, I'm really busy is what people want to say.
It's true.
Like, it's just we now if he come finish the work again. Like, him do it and left it give it, and now him come back and say, here I go ahead. See it again.
Yeah.
Me feel so, honestly.
Yeah.
You get what I say? It was only Sean and Shaggy them doing the arenas shows and things. Now, even me, like, me not even want to take a show America again.
Yeah.
Like me, I work so hard right now for no say, yo, we want to sold out Barclays or Madison Square or UBS and these things. So work really I put in right now for dancehall.
Shit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, and Kartel, you know what?
Swear.
For real, he's coming to open the door again.
Come on,
me,
come
yeah.
on.
This is like, I went Kartel O2.
Swear.
And me, I'm not even a dancehall man, but Kartel had me outside. You get me?